Hi, hello. Today's topic is about virginity and defloration. And in this topic, discuss about definition of virginity, signs of virginity, different forms or the types of hymen, and definition of defloration, signs of defloration, and what is the difference between virginity and defloration, and medical legal aspects of virginity. Coming to the anatomy of the female extragenitalia, where first and foremost structure is labia majora, where it is in a two elongated folds of skin projecting downwards and backwards from mons pubis, and it is a pad of fat lying in front of pubis, and they meet in at anterior aspect at anterior commissure, and they meet at posterior near to the anal region is posterior commissure, and in virgin labia majora is thick, firm, elastic, rounded and lie in opposition, and it almost closes the vaginal orifices, right? It is about labia majora. And coming about labia minora is about 4 centimeter long, two soft, small, thin, pink, sensitive folds of just within labia majora, and the sulcus between majora and minora is known as interlabial sulcus, and they are present. There are two such sulcus. They are present in left and right side. The lower portion of labia minora fuses in midline, and they form a fold called fortuate, and the depression between fortuate and the vaginal orifices is known as fossa navicularis. And clitoris is a small button-like organ located near anterior junction of labia minora, and which is present just above the urethral opening, and followed by frenulum is a small fold of tissue on the undersurface of clitoris, and created by two median parts of labia minora, and urethral opening which is 2.5 centimeter begin the clitoris and immediately in front of urethral in front of vaginal orifice, and hymen is been another structure, and it is in a double folded mucous membrane which is of 1 meter in thick, and there are different shapes of hymen and their appearances, and intactness of the hymen is one of the important sign of virginity. And this is the lateral view, and where uterus is present, bladder is present, followed by the other structures. Coming to virginity, the word virginity, it means that a female has not experienced an act of sexual intercourse, and loss of virginity is not a ground for nullity of marriage. Virginity after marriage indicates non-consumption of sexual intercourses, and that is the ground for divorce. And here the divorce could occur as a result of the reasons are the impotency of an husband or fragility of an wife. Signs of virginity. A virgin woman has certain signs on her private part, and some of which are lost during the first act of sexual intercourse, and some of which have been lost on repeated acts of intercourse. And while examining a woman and to seek opinion regarding her virginity, the ideal position is being a lithotomy position, and where labia majora and minora on the first instant, if it has been covering the entire vaginal orifice, and probably the female could be of a virgin, and on repeated acts of intercourse and other, where on the first instant where we can able to see vaginal orifices and other internal structures. Regarding hymen is a double fold of mucous membrane that is derived from posterior vaginal wall and situated at the orifice of the vagina, and it is about 1 millimeter in thick, and there may be different shapes and appearance. And intact hymen is one of the most important sign of virginity, and again it is not the surest sign of virginity. And the diameter of the hymen orifice in a year, based on the year, 1 millimeter per year, and 2 millimeter by second year, and until the female reaches prepubertal age, where 10 millimeter will be the diameter of the hymen orifice. And in a prepubertal girl, if there been a greater of 10 millimeter in diameter, it may suggest where a girl would have been sexually abused in her lifetime. Different forms of hymen. First and foremost is annular, semilunar, infantile, cribriform, vertical, septate, microperforate, fimbriated, and imperforate hymens. And we will discuss each type of the hymen in detail in upcoming slides. First type is annular. The synonyms are circular and hymen annularis. And here the opening is of clear circular and central opening. And in case of semilunar, where it almost looks like in a shape of a crescent, and in case of a falciform type of hymen, where we have a sickle shaped opening. Coming to other types of hymen is imperforate type of hymen, and here there is no any obvious central opening where on onset of a menstrual cycle, where doctors need to make a surgical incision or a surgical to create a surgical opening to let out the menstrual fluid, menstrual blood, as well as other fluids. And here in case if it has been non-attended, where female will have a sudden abdomen pain and other complications as a result of collection of menstrual fluid within the body cavity. And here the conditions like hematoclopus, hematometria can occur. And in case of a cribriform type or a fenestrated type of hymen, where we have multiple small perforations, small openings have been seen. And here in condition where the collection and the menstrual blood flow and other can leave out or can be let out without any problem. But here in case there may be some difficulty while during a course of sexual activity, or an insertion of a tampon can be problematic. And in case of a septate type of hymen, where we can able to see a thin fibrous tissue, in the part, and it has been divided into two narrow spectrum. And here not that much problematic, and in some circumstances maybe difficulty can arise due to during the acts of sexual activity. Trifenestration, and here the hymen has three separate openings. And in case of a subseptate, where a hymen is being partially filled by an septum growing out on one wall but not reaching the another, right? Growing out but not reaching the other part. And other type of hymen is vertical or hymen labius, and here the opening is almost like in a vertical, and slit like opening is seen in case of vertical hymen. And in case of irregular type of hymen, where we can't make out a regular shape and there is no any regular pattern made out of it. And the other type is postcoital or a ruptured hymen, and here this been one such DD for a fimbriated type of hymen. And here where the tears reach up to peripheral margin is one of the distinguished feature to differentiate from a fimbriated type of hymen. In upcoming slides, we will see what is the difference between the postcoital hymen and a fimbriated, and for the time being, the explanation is sufficient. And in case of a micro perforated type of hymen, where we have a very smaller opening and comparatively is lesser than to the other types of hymen. And the postcoital and a fimbriated hymen. First and foremost, the situation of the nodules, and here in case of a ruptured hymen or on a postcoital hymen, where situation of nodules are seen on, or the TS are seen on the posterior aspect, and here in case it is of mostly on the anterior aspects, as well as it appears symmetrical in shape, and here the central opening is asymmetrical, and the mucous membrane over those notches are torn in case of postcoital hymen, and in case of fimbriated hymen, where the mucous membrane that covers over the notches or the central opening remains intact. And here the reason behind for this presentation is postcoital. It means that there been an act of sexual intercourse, and here in case of fimbriated, it is a naturally occurring type of hymen. And the other differentiating feature, even from the previous slide, where the peripheral tags or the TS that reach up to the peripheral margin, and in case of postcoital, it is most commonly located on the 6 o'clock position, or otherwise on otherwise on the 7 o'clock or on the 5 o'clock position. It means that the TS most commonly located on the posterior aspect, but in case of fimbriated, the tags will not reach up to peripheral margin, by which it can be differentiated from a postcoital type of hymen. And coming to rupture of hymen, most common reason for rupture of hymen is being an act of sexual intercourse, and even in other circumstances where other etiological conditions where even can result in a rupture of hymen. First and foremost, an act of an accidental fall on a projected object with legs wide apart can result in a rupture of hymen. A localized infection where followed by there being a chronic itching or an ulceration can result in a rupture of hymen. Any surgical interference, any gynecological procedures can result in a rupture of hymen. Act of masturbation or insertion of sanitary tampon will be the other causes where it can lead to a rupture of hymen. And usually, when an individual fall on a projected object, or there been a third party involvement, or there been an incident where there been insertion of any foreign objects, where we can able to demonstrate associated periurethral tissues injuries over them, and they present in form of contusion, abrasions, and most commonly the history of accident will be seen, and there will be bruising on the hymen margins are noted. And usually the masturbation within a larger object can also result in injuries over the part of the hymenal tissue. And there are some acts by which a rupture of hymen is not at all possible. Example like dancing, jumping, riding, or in a vigorous exercises will not result in a rupture of hymen. And coming to signs of virginity. Signs of virginity can be divided into two: genital sciences and extragenital sciences. And in case of genital sciences, private part examination, where the clitoris is not enlarged, vestibule is narrow, posterior commissure and the purchute are intact and they are in crescent in shape, and hymen is intact. It means that these features suggest that these are the signs of virginity. And coming to extragenital sciences, where breast appears firm, elastic, hemispherical, and nipple is usually small and underdeveloped and surrounded by an areola, which is pink in case of a fairly complex woman, a dark brown in case of a dark woman. And if the breast appears large and flabby by frequent handling and manipulation during a course of sexual intercourse, it appears by which we can, these are the other extragenital findings which suggestive of there has been a loss of virginity. And always remember, a single act of coitus does not causes any enlargement of breast. And presence of milk in case of a lactating mother, it may be due to any hormonal disorders, or milk may be even seen in virgins. And coming to the word defloration, defloration means loss of virginity of an woman. And in deflorated woman, the hymen is usually be ruptured. And the other differentiating feature, right? The ruptured hymen and fimbriated. Always remember, fimbriated hymen, where the marginal irregularity should not be confused with a ruptured hymen. And again, the point to stress upon, where fimbriated hymen, the tags and the hymenal tags will not reach up to peripheral margin. And even if there been a tag present, and it reaches up to posterior margin in case of a postcoital type of hymen. And in signs of defloration, it means that there has been a loss of virginity in those cases where labia majora are relaxed and not touching each other, and where a part of the underlying structures like vaginal opening and the clitoris and the are being exposed, and clitoris is not enlarged, labia minora a little elongated and protruded between labia majora, and posterior commissure is being ruptured, and hymen obviously being ruptured. These are the features of signs of defloration. And coming to the word false virgin. False virgin is a woman who has lost virginity but does not show any signs of defloration on examination. It means that she retains the signs of virginity, as most the countable sign of virginity is being rupture of hymen. It means that woman has undergone a sexual intercourse, but on examination we can't make out the signs of defloration. Like even the most common is rupture of hymen. Even hymen is appearing to be intact, and here the reasons could be in case of a false virgin. What is the reason for hymen being remaining intact, where even after multiple coitus the reason begin could be of when a hymen is being thick, fleshy, and as an adequate fibrous elastic folds could be the reasons, where even repeated acts of coitus does not cause us any signs of defloration on the woman. Difference between virginity and defloration. And in case of virginity, where hymen appears to be intact, elastic, and edges are smooth and regular, and even it admits a little finger to pass through. And in case of a defloration, where the hymen appears torn or intact, and for the reason intact, and false virgin, the presence of thick fibrous tissue, fleshy fibrous folds, where the hymen is not being ruptured, and it can pass us up to 2 or more fingers, and edges are not smooth. And in case of labia minora, smaller, pinkish, and covered by labia majora mostly. And in case of a deflorated woman, it is not opposed to each other, prominent and separated from labia majora. And in case of labia majora, it appears thick, fleshy on both sides, and they almost lie in close opposition. Vaginal orifice is not being seen, right? And here patient is made to lie on lithotomy position In case of virginity, labia majora lies in opposition where vaginal orifice is not being visualized. But in case of a deflorated woman, it is less fleshy, labia majora. Both sides are not in full opposition where vaginal orifice is being visible. And in case of forchet and fossa navicularis, it remains intact in case of virginity. It appears torn and fossa navicularis is being disappears in case of a deflorated woman. And in case of a vestibule, it appears narrow and wide in case of a deflorated woman. Vagina appears narrow, rugas are seen, and in case of a deflorated woman, rugae are less obvious and be flattened. By repeated acts of sexual intercourse, the rugae disappears completely. The last few slides of presentation, medico-legal aspects of virginity, and first and foremost, medico-legal aspects of virginity is to differentiate between a true virgin and a false virgin. On opinion making, where causes of rupture other than sexual intercourses need to be given consideration, and principal signs of virginity, right? Any single sign should not be taken or should not be taken as the surest sign of virginity, but the all signs as a together to be used as a virtual diagnostic for a virginity. And remember, even after repeated intercourse where a hymen can remain intact, if hymen possesses one of those features, if it been elastic, fleshy, folded, loose, and thicker enough where it can resist rupture, and here the hymen permits almost displacement and even resist to distortion and stretching without resulting in a rupture after a multiple intercourse. Coming to another terminology called caruncle mitiformis. Here, repeated sexual intercourse where a hymen completely disappears or only a part of a hymen which is remnant, seen as small projections, minuscule-like in structures, small fleshy tags are only being visible. Again, the definition, true virgin, it means that the individual never experienced an act of sexual intercourse and her hymen may or may not be intact. And in case of false virgin, woman who has experienced sexual intercourse but her hymen remains intact. And secondly, as a ground for divorce. And here the point being, where if a woman not being a virgin at the time of marriage, and there is no any provision for nullity or for divorce under Hindu Marriages Act 1955. And thirdly, as a defamation suit, and here a person may be charged of a defamation under 499 IPC if he alleges there been a loss of virginity of a woman, and later point of an examination she found to be virgin, then a defamation suit against a person. Fourth, rape, and if there been an allegation of rape may be proved if there been loss of virginity can be shown. Remember, keeping all other factors in consideration. Fifth, nullity of marriage. If a married woman wants her marriage to be declared as null and void on the account of impotency of the husband, she must prove that she is still being virgin, and to state that her husband has been unable to consummate the marriage. Remember, an intact hymen is not the surest sign of virginity. In normal conditions of a fortuate posture commissure should also be taken into other factors, even genital as well as extragenital factors to be taken into consideration. A narrow vagina with a rugae walls, and remember again, not on a single entity to be taken as a consideration for virginity, and again it is not an absolute proof. all factors to be considered, and before stating the virginity of a woman. Thank you so much for your patient listening. If there have been doubt, query related to the content of the video, kindly address those issues in the comment section below, or otherwise through any of the social media links provided in description section. Thank you.